Welcome to Spectrum of Innovation. Hello, my name is Jessie Bobby, and this is Spectrum of Innovation, your trusted news and information source for Riverside County. This is our 8th episode. We hope you'll be able to stay with us for the entire show. This complete episode, as well as individual segments, will be available on our website, spectrumofinnovation.org. If you've missed any of our previous shows and segments, you can also find them there on our website. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we post weekly updates from our SOI training crew. And we'll keep you in the know about Riverside County. Spectrum of Innovation has really grown. And it's changed a whole lot since our show back in October, which was our very first one. I wasn't even hosting back then. And we're just getting started. To help us cover more of what you need to know, we have several new team members, and one of them is Gabriella Venturo, our SOI correspondent. Welcome to SOI.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Well, stick around because we'll be seeing Gabriella a little later in the show today.
That's right. I'll be interviewing a very special guest here in our studio, and I'll also show everyone yet another reason to be proud of what's happening here in the county.
Great, I'm looking forward to that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Would you like to help me introduce the first segment of the show today?
Sure, let's do it.
All right. So for today's spotlight, we went to Awanga and Temecula to see how a Riverside County olive grower sure can make an impact.
Ah, yes. Is that where you went to go check out the beautiful olive groves and learned about the production of olive oil?
Yes, it is.
Very cool.
Let's roll that segment. Here we are in the extremely lush groves at the Temecula Olive Oil Company Ranch. Caring for this property is truly a labor of love by Tom Curry, who purchased this ranch about 15 years ago with a vision to bring olive oil closer to home. He has done just that and much more. In 2018, the Temecula Olive Oil Company earned a Temecula Xenia Award in hospitality for promoting travel, tourism, and the growth of Temecula.
What we're doing is we're resurrecting an old ag business here in Southern California. San Diego was the first place in California that made olive oil. Then it kind of went out of favor more to the imports. As a matter of fact, even today, 95% of all the olive oil in the country that is consumed is imported. So we're trying to resurrect that business and also resurrect the ag business in Southern California with something that is very sustainable and historically significant. And we've seen, since we've been in business in 2001, the amount of olive trees that have been planted and the businesses that have started is just almost quadrupled.
Wow.
So it's really great to be in the forefront of that.
Although certain landmarks in the ranch remain the same, the Temecula Olive Oil Company was not the first to appreciate all that the land here has to offer.
The original founders of this land were the Native Americans. They would come to this area because there's lots of water and there's also oak trees and everything. So this was a big trading area for a lot of the tribes for a long time. And that's, like thousands of years. And then it transitioned to become one of the land-grant cattle ranches, the Bergman Ranch. And the Bergmans ran cattle here for over 100 years until the mid-1960s.
Olive trees thrive in subtropical climates and do best with mild winters and warm summers.
The nice thing about growing olive trees anywhere in Southern California really is it's super easy. I'm not a great farmer. I didn't grow up as a farmer, so these are the ideal trees. They don't need a lot of water. They don't need a lot of nutrients. A lot of sunlight is really the major requirement. The most difficult part of making the olive oil is harvesting the olives. We have to get the olives off the tree, don't want to bruise them or anything like that. Most of our olives here are hand-picked. We put nets on the ground, we pick them out of the tree and let them fall onto the nets, then we collect them up. Then the next thing that's most crucial is once they're picked, we want to make it into oil as quickly as possible. it's fruit juice, you want it to be nice and fresh. So we want to get it to the mill and turn it into olive oil roughly within 24 hours.
Harvesting takes place from late August to November. Once all of the olives are off the trees, they carry them to the mill and place them in the crusher. Olives are crushed by the rotating wheel with pits and everything. Next, the olives go in the mixer. The crushed pits help to solidify the mixture into a paste, which is spread onto a stainless steel saucer and is set to drain. The saucers get added in a stack, and as the mass increases, the oil is pressed out into a collection basin, otherwise known as the super secret oil separation chamber. Once the process is complete, the product is ready for the storefront, which also has an interesting historical connection.
It turns out that when they drive the cattle into Temecula, there was a railhead there, they bring the cattle into Temecula. The cowboys like to have a shot of whiskey or a beer or something afterwards, and their saloon of choice is where our tasting room is in Old Town Temecula.
This is the Temecula Olive Oil Company storefront, the first one of 5 stores in Southern California.
From the crazy idea my wife got of having a tasting bar in Old Town, we've now grown to about 5 stores in Southern California, with the 6th opening up in Los Angeles pretty soon. So, I guess it worked out. All the items that are sold here are products of either land that we own or manage.
A couple of members from the SOI crew and I were treated by Tom with one of the Temecula Olive Oil Company's storefront tastings.
When we taste the olive oil, we don't serve it with any bread or anything. We just encourage you to take a little sip, because remember, it's fruit juice, right? So it should be fresh and fruity. A lot of times people don't want to taste oil because they think it's going to be greasy and oily. But if it's fresh olive oil, it shouldn't be that way.
From harvesting to crushing to mixing to bottling, we learned that olive oil is not just good for cooking, but also great for health, skin, and hair. That must be why it's sometimes referred to as liquid gold. The process of making the olive oil is completely sustainable and completely water restorative. Not to mention, it takes just as much heart as it does skill to make. What a treat that was! It was so fascinating to see the fine dedication and patience it takes to grow olives and produce olive oil. If you're interested in learning more, then visit our website where we will provide the links to all the info. Now it's time for the Need to Know segment of SOI. Earlier in the show, I mentioned that SOI is growing rapidly. To share with you about that. We're very excited and pleased to announce that starting in July, Spectrum of Innovation will be airing on the City of Temecula's Community Access Station on Channel 3. The city uses this channel to provide public information as well as create educational opportunities about local government, community need, upcoming projects, and city services. So we fit right in. And we're excited to welcome new viewers to our show. Also, earlier in the program, we promised to show you another reason to be proud of what's happening in Riverside County. And here it is. U.S. News and World Report recently conducted a comprehensive ranking that included high schools throughout the greater Riverside County. The publication ranked the schools in categories that included performance, college readiness, and proficiency. We sent our new correspondent, Gabriela Venturo, out to give you a closer look at some of the county's awesome schools that made the list.
Did you know 33 schools in Riverside County were amongst the best schools in America? Both Temecula and Marietta made the list multiple times. The top 5 in Riverside County were Western Center Academy, Great Oak High School, Santiago High, Martin Luther King, and Temecula Preparatory. I have visited with Western Center Academy to see how their STEM curriculum helped them rank 77th in the nation. The Western Center Academy engages students in STEM learning: science, technology, engineering, and math. This hands-on approach allows students to explore their unique talents and abilities. Explain the relationship between your school and the Western Science Center, as they're all on the same campus.
We are all on the same campus. We share a campus not only with the school and the Hemet Unified School District, but also with the Western Science Center as well as Metropolitan Water District. Relationship is really unique in that we're able to share curriculum. It's an opportunity where, especially at the middle school level, we have the opportunity to be able to introduce archaeology and paleontology classes.
What about the STEM curriculum do you feel contributes to the high ranking that your school was able to receive?
A big part of it is just the interest level of the students. When kids are passionate about subject matter, whatever it is, and our kids happen to be very passionate about science, technology, engineering, and math, it gives them focus and the opportunity to really be able to go forward with what they want to be able to pursue.
So how do you keep your kids striving for the top and really interested to receive high rankings like you did?
Sure, ultimately it comes down to opportunity, finding ways to be able to support the students, whether it's through a broad array of science courses that we have at the middle school, where the students have the opportunity to not only go through their core science, but also 12 additional lab sciences.
Well, you obviously must be proud. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Absolutely, anytime.
I also got the chance to visit with Great Oak High School, located in Temecula. Great Oak High School believes in a dynamic, relevant, and nurturing educational climate. Alongside their educational curriculum, they offer CTE, Career Technology Education programs to help prepare for direct entry to the workplace. So tell us what SPIRIT stands for.
Yeah, so SPIRIT is scholarship and passion, integrity, reflection, involvement, and teamwork. The career tech education pathway has really kind of swung back around to complement the college readiness. We want career readiness. And so anything that we can do, especially within the comprehensive high school range, to grow career opportunities for students and give them a taste of what life might be down the road in their professional endeavors, it's an awesome opportunity.
What CTE programs do you guys offer here at Great Oak that add some value to the students' education and classroom?
Right, so we have some exciting CTE pathways specific to kind of what you're doing right now. We have an advanced media program with Mr. Huff, who oversees the capstone and the externship opportunities for our students. We also have a culinary pathway. We have a child development, really focusing around elementary future educators. And we know there's going to be a shortage of teachers in a couple years, so that's exciting to keep that going. We have an advanced kinesiology and athletic training pathway. And then we have a computer science and a fashion and design.
It seems like the most common factors allowing these top schools to make the list are high scores on state assessments and integrated college curriculum. The excellence these schools strive for is so amazing.
Thank you, Gabriella. And way to go, Riverside County. Making it onto the list multiple times is really something to be proud of. We have a link to all 33 Riverside County schools that made the top schools grade listed on our website. So head over to spectrumofinnovation.org and see how your high school ranks with the others. Now for something very, very inspiring from one of our SOY team members. Muscular dystrophy is more common than people may think. It affects about 250,000 people in the United States alone. There's a lot to know about this disease. So we asked team member Brittany Salazar, who has MD, to get us all up to speed.
When people think about muscular dystrophy or MD, the first thing that probably comes to mind is the Jerry Lewis telethon. But other than that, most people don't know much about this disease that affects thousands of people. I am here to help you understand more about it. The first account of MD was in 1830, when Sir Charles Bell, a Scottish neurologist, wrote an essay on an illness that caused continual weakness in boys. In most cases, muscular dystrophy is inherited. Some causes are viruses, toxins, and illnesses, while other causes are still unknown. Symptoms of muscular dystrophy include trouble walking and pain and stiffness within the muscles. Also, frequent falls, a shortening of muscles and tendons, along with learning disabilities. Although there are many types of MD, we're just going to name a few of the typical ones. Duchenne accounts for almost 50% of all MD cases. It's caused by a lack of dystrophin protein that strengthens muscle fibers and protects them from injury. Myotonic dystrophy is the most common form of muscular dystrophy that starts in adulthood. Myotonic dystrophy is known by progressive muscle loss and weakness. People with this disease experience longer muscle tensing and are not able to relax certain muscles after use. Trichotillomere tooth, also known as CMT, affects the peripheral nerves outside the brain and spinal cord. It is the degeneration of those nerves that lead to muscle weakness in the body's extremities.
I have CMT and I was diagnosed when I was 15 years old. Unfortunately, there is no cure, but there are ways to ease the pain of MD.
I hopped on my computer with Molly Maggery, a care specialist for the Muscular Dystrophy Association, to find out more.
We don't have a cure. We do have lots of treatments. I've definitely seen things like leg braces and lots of physical therapy. In the past 5 years, there's been 6 drugs that have come on the market and been approved by the FDA for treatments for our diseases. So it's super exciting to see families in our care centers who are receiving these treatments and are able to, see a difference.
Thanks to these treatments, those of us with MD don't just manage our condition, we thrive.
Can you explain what MD they have and what treatments are out there?
Avery and Kennedy have spinal muscular atrophy type 2, also known as SMA type 2. It's a neuromuscular weakness, and they are currently taking Spinraza injections. It's a inpatient, it's an outpatient lumbar puncture procedure. They don't want to go certain places because of their wheelchair and people staring at them. But I just let them know that it's okay and that they can't stop life just because.
What has been your experience living with MD?
Living with muscular dystrophy is a different experience every day because each day there is a new challenge. I think it's made me mentally stronger. It's made me have a different perspective on life.
Johnny Gold, the founder of Gold Pictures, has type 2 SMA, but that doesn't stop her from achieving her dreams. She was written, produced, and directed several films including Cinemability, The Art of Inclusion, which is about how the media portrays those with disabilities.
It hasn't really been something I manage. You just deal with the hand you're dealt and do the best that you can. Hard work and never giving up and never looking at the obstacles, finding ways around problems that might have gotten in the way and just being very focused on the goals.
Many people are working towards discovering more treatments and even a cure. For more than 65 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association has been committed to saving and improving the lives of those living with MD.
We spend every day in our MDA offices across the country raising money, working hard to continue to fund that research in hopes that one day we will find that project that leads to a cure. And then, one day our goal is that none of us have a job at MDA because we've done our work. So
the MDA sponsors big charitable events such as Fill the Boot and the Muscle Walk, which raises millions of dollars for research and support services.
I'm so glad that those of us with MD have so many in the community who support us. Yes, I live with my condition every day and I face some challenges, but I often think of this quote by Martin Luther King Jr. He said, "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose hope." I like this quote because he's saying if I fail at something, I get up and try again. It also reminds me that I shouldn't let what I have define who I am. I hope this segment inspires everyone watching to learn more about muscular dystrophy and those of us who have it.
Thank you, Brittany, for enlightening all of us. You are truly an inspiration. Be sure to go to our website for more information about MD and the great work that's done by the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Now it's time for the Hack of the Week, where we share useful tips that make life a lot more fun. SOI team member Matt Seelbinder is here to show us how to get our color on with a sweet way of making watercolor paintings.
Hi, I'm Matt Seelbinder, and this is your Hack of the Week. If you like to paint, and if you love Skittles, just wait and see what I'm gonna show you today. Today, we're gonna paint with Skittles. First, we're gonna gather our materials. A canvas paper to paint on, a few small cups for our paint and water, a few paintbrushes of various sizes, and of course, we can't forget the main star, our Skittles. First, get the Skittles. You can choose any color. Next, place your Skittles in the cups. Use your straw to dip water into the small cups. Now it's time to paint with some Skittles. I hope this video has been fun. Now you have your own masterpiece. I am Matt Seelbinder, Paint the Rainbow. This has been your Hack of the Week. We'll see you all next time.
Thank you, Matt. That's such a nice painting with so much color. I can't believe it's done with Skittles. You can go to our website for a step-by how-to, as well as to find other outside-the-box Skittles hacks. For today's Voice of Innovation, we bring you Riverside County's third district supervisor, Chuck Washington, who was recently elected as the chair of Riverside County Transportation Commission. Since then, he has started some very innovative approaches for improving the future of transportation in Riverside County. Gabriella Venturo met with Supervisor Washington to discuss his new Reboot My Commute initiative.
So what is the Reboot My Commute initiative, and what inspired it?
This year, as the chairman of Riverside County Transportation Commission, I worked with our staff and our executive director to try to refine an effort for outreach to the community. And because so many people now are digital and using social media, we coined this phrase or hashtag for our effort called Reboot My Commute. And we wanted to find out what they thought about infrastructure, transportation, and other issues that they encountered during their commutes.
So now what happens once the data from Reboot My Commute is collected?
We're tabulating the information, our commuters' recommendations or requests, and then we're sort of using that to help prioritize the kinds of projects that we want to get done, because for a long time we've been working on projects primarily on the 91 that allowed people easier commutes outside of the county. And I've kind of pushed for, we need to focus more internally. How do we move our traffic around within Riverside County?
What is it going to take in terms of physical and financial resources to bring about the needed changes to modern transportation in the Riverside County area?
One of the good things about what we're doing in the planning and prioritizing is we know what projects on the books that we want to get done. Unfortunately, the funding gap continues to grow. So the monies we have available to do the projects that we want to do, say over the next 20 years, is roughly about $12 billion short. So we're really going to have to find efficient ways to stretch our dollars and to get as much out of a project as we can get. And of course we do, we submit applications for grant funding, matching funding from the feds or from the state, but there's a gap. And I'm committed to trying to get as many projects done that improve quality of life for our residents as we can get within the framework of what we have to spend.
So if the necessary changes get made, all that you've mentioned of course as well, what do you think the future of transportation in the Riverside County will look like in 20 years from now?
We are pretty much a car state. Everybody drives their car. That puts a great demand on our infrastructure in terms of roads. Rail, bus is out there as an alternative. Rail is extremely expensive, both to acquire the right-of-way, land, as well as to build the infrastructure. But it has to be an all-inclusive transportation plan that doesn't completely rely on the automobile, because we're just going to choke on our congestion. So I think it's going to be vital, if we are to thrive as a region, that we make investments in alternative types of transportation.
Well, thank you so much, Chuck, for your time. I really appreciate it, taking the time out of your busy schedule and being here with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
It's great to know that our voices are being heard, and we all have a say in the future of our transportation. If you want to get involved, you can use hashtag #RebootMyCommute on social media. You can call the 800 number we have listed here or text RCTC to 55222. All this information and more is on the Spectrum of website, so check it out. Now it's time for our In the Know segment to ensure that you're up to date on Riverside County's current happenings. As you've probably heard, there's a large number of measles outbreaks hitting various states around the U.S., including California. According to the CDC, the number of individuals affected this year has increased to more than ever reported since 1994. Fortunately, there have been no measles occurrences in Riverside County, and everyone would like to keep it that way. The Riverside University Health System has launched a website in efforts to prevent any cases from hitting too close to home. This website provides all of the need to know about measles and will keep you informed on the very latest. We will post the links for you on the Spectrum of Innovation website, and that way you can stay informed and help keep measles out of Riverside County. Hasn't the weather been unusually cold and rainy for this time of year? It looks like a few parts of Riverside County will be experiencing some of the same weather this holiday weekend, but it should start clearing up later next week. We'll need those sunglasses soon enough. Speaking of the holiday weekend, there won't be any scheduled I-15 freeway closures until after Memorial Day. Then next week, the freeway improvement projects on the I-15 between Calca Road and El Cerrito exits will cause some nighttime northbound lane closures. The Cerrito exit will be closed during this period, and detour signs will be posted. On Cerrito Road itself, at the I-15, there is now a new temporary traffic configuration to allow crews to widen the bridge, so allow extra time when traveling through that area and drive safe out there. Now, let's talk about all the fun events going on in Riverside County. Tomorrow, May 24th, you can catch Spike and Mike's Sick and Twisted Festival of Animation at the Fox Performing Arts Center. The event is for adults ages 18 and up and will feature a wide collection of submitted adult animations. The creators of shows such as Beavis and Butthead, Monsters, Inc., and Toy Story made their debuts at that festival, so it's an event you won't want to miss. Feeling like taking a journey back in time? The Korenberg Renaissance Fair will be held in Corona on weekends between May 25th and June 23rd. Each weekend there will be a different theme, so be sure to check their website for info before going. Grab your tunic and your friends and prepare to have a carouse. Also, on May 25th, the city of Idlewild will be hosting its Art in the Park event. There you'll be able to view and experience many forms of art while in the beautiful San Bernardino National Forest. If you missed the event in May, you can catch Art in the Park again in June. From Friday 1st to Sunday, June 2nd, Temecula Valley will be holding its 36th annual Wine and Balloon Festival located in Winchester, California. There will be local beer and wine, as well as great food, live music, and entertainment. Lots of vendors, and of course, a chance to ride a hot air balloon. This event is open to all ages. On Tuesday, June 18th through Monday, June 24th, the Palm Springs Cultural Center will be holding its 25th annual International Short Film Festival. Many of the submissions go on to receive Oscars, and submissions come from all around the world. Sounds like a great event and a wonderful opportunity. So with school ending soon, are you looking for something for the kids to do? Here's a creative, educational, and fun summer camp that they will love. JDS Creative Academy, the same people who bring you SOI, offers an amazing summer program. Starting on June 17th, creative kids and teens will experience writing and putting on a play in just 2 weeks. They will learn improv, script writing, acting, building sets, and working with props and costumes, ending with a performance on June 28th. There are full and half-day options and spots are limited, so register now. Hope to see you here at our studio. We are all looking forward to it. And that's a wrap for our May episode. Thanks for joining us here on Spectrum of Innovation. And we'll be back on the 27th for our Season 1 finale. Be sure to go to the City of Temecula's Channel 3 in July and catch all of our past episodes as they debut on television. Then tune into Channel 3 in August for Spectrum of Innovation's 2nd season. Of course, you can still see all of the episodes of SOI on our website, spectrumofinnovation.org. Or you can take a visit to our YouTube and Facebook pages where we also stream updates from our SOI training crew. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel while you're there. Have a wonderful weekend as it is Memorial Day. Take some time to remember all of those who have served and lost their lives for our nation. From all of us here at Spectrum of Innovation, we wish you a fantastic month of June. SOI out.